You have two types of deterioration. You have sudden and you have gradual. Sudden would be an example of infidelity. When somebody is not faithful to their partner, the partners realize that the relationship cannot be sustained. Gradual would be if you met somebody at work or a new friendship has occurred and you, as it goes on, you see that, okay, maybe this relationship has more potential than the relationship I have with my partner. And that would gradually push the old relationship out and push the new relationship in.
Oh, the irony. Hello everyone, welcome to another Chris Watts video. It's Michelle here. I do hope you're well. In this video, we're going to address the lies and the misconceptions. Some of them at least, because there are many. Oh, what a tangled web they weaved. What you saw at the beginning was Chris Watts doing a speech, a presentation for a communications course. Very, very ironic. So Nichol Kessinger, Chris Watts' mistress, has been the subject of much speculation. That's the first thing we're going to look at. Currently among several channels that focus a lot around Chris Watts. The speculation is, when did their relationship actually start? Because Nichol did web search Chris Watts and Shanann Watts back in 2017. It's there in the discovery. It's very specific. It is not a typo. Why she Googled them, no one knows. But when did their relationship actually start? Now, they met at work. What you see in front of you here is from the discovery files, not the discovery itself, but the files that you get from Weld County. I've got all of those files and they're interesting. There's a lot of little interesting tidbits in there. And this is one of those. So this is a series of emails. The first one was just a work-related email sent on the 5th of June, and there's several people kind of copied in. What you see is later in the day, Chris writes back, "Thanks, Nikki, have a great rest of your day." So that was June the 5th. And then we jumped to June the 12th, and it seems that Nikki and Chris had had some sort of conversation. "Thank you for being honest with me this morning. Truthfulness is so underrated in our culture," says Nikki. So that was June the 12th at 10:55 a.m. So Chris replies later in the day, so it's only a few hours later. "I'm a straightforward guy. Lying just complicates things." Well, it does indeed. It absolutely does indeed. "I think you're absolutely stunning. And from what I've learnt about you so far, you seem like an amazing person. I hope to continue to get to know you better since we have a lot in common." So it is speculated that Nichol Kessinger had kind of been covertly finding things out about Chris so that she was able to bag him. So then Nikki replies just a few hours later, 2:31 p.m. "Agreed. It is always nice to find people you can relate to. I enjoy talking to you as well. I feel understood." Now get this. This is the crux of the matter. This, I think, for me, proves, maybe not, in a court of law type prove, but it tells me a lot. Let's just say that. "I'm looking for someone to build a beautiful life with. Seems so simple, but so unrealistic sometimes," because I think she had some bad relationships in the past. "Build something similar to what you have done with your wife and those cute little girls." So back on June the 12th, she knew he had a wife. She was referring to his life as a beautiful life. There is absolutely no insinuation or statement here that denotes that they're going to separate, because she wouldn't call a separated marriage, or one that was going through a crisis, she wouldn't call it a beautiful life, would she? She just wouldn't. I do believe in karma, so out of respect for myself, you and your family, I think it best if we keep that friendship at work. So what she's saying in June the 12th is, I want to be friends. It feels like she's giving him the brush off because he's married. So I'm wondering whether Chris then perhaps starts to build in, starts to tell her that he's separating. Because he wants Nikki, he thinks she's stunning, and he wants out of his marriage, he's bored with his marriage. So he's found Nikki. Yeah, I do believe in karma. Well, karma hit you flat in the face, didn't it, Nikki? So out of respect for herself, you and your family, she knew he was married. So all of the lies that she told in the Denver Post and to the police, she knew he was married. Now, she's not doing, she's single. It's Chris who's the married one, but Chris pursued her. So I think that is very, very telling. That email is very, very telling. But let's move on to see what Chris responded. Yes, a beautiful life is something that is hard to find in this world, since people always seem to have an agenda for everything. Well, I don't know what he means by that. I do believe in karma, so I agree with that as well. So we agree just to stay friends. Any conversation we have will stay between us, no need to worry there. My work number is, if you need to get a hold of me in the field, sometimes email can be tricky with my spotty service out here. Blah, 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 blah. If I don't see you tomorrow, I hope you have an amazing day. So Nikki knew he was married. Chris told her he was married. Let's put pay to her believing that he was separating. That was a load of nonsense. Maybe you told her that later to bag her, so to speak. But certainly at the beginning, on June the 12th, Nikki wanted to just stay friends. So let's move on to the next issue. This letter has had some interest lately. So this supposedly was written on the 6th of August, so just a week before the murders. And this was when he was in North Carolina, and apparently his mother and sister, I believe, made him sit down because Shanann, according to them, was out of control. This was after Nutgate. Cindy claimed that she was scared of Shanann because she was out of control. So they made Chris write this letter. To whom it may concern, if anyone gets this letter, I would never do anything to hurt myself, my children, or my wife. If anything happens to me, please investigate my wife. Supposedly that's I'm scared of my wife. If this letter is ever read by anyone, it means something bad has happened. I think it was Ronnie that showed the defence team this letter. I mean, that, for me, isn't somebody who's saying, I'm scared. This letter is just telling you to investigate my wife. This letter is an admission of premeditation to me. What do you think? It's implying that Shanann is going to do something horrible. It predates Tammy Lee using techniques to get him to open up in the interrogation room when she said maybe it was Shanann that killed the girls. Well, she wouldn't have known about this letter at the time. I think that was already on Chris's mind, so it was very easy to go with that story once it had been kind of out in the open. Very interesting. At the moment, there is so many lies, so many blatant untruths. You've got the Miss Mensa, you've got KK, you've got Lana Banana, you've got Jays for Jaundice, you've got all of these people and their supporters saying that Shanann killed the girls. The police looked at that possibility. So what we're going to look at is the police doing a reenactment. Chris said he saw on the baby monitor that Bella was blue and Shanann was strangling Celeste. So they actually did a reenactment with a doll and a police officer in the position that Shanann might have been in, and then two officers watched the baby monitors. There's two baby monitors. There's one in Shanann and Chris's room, which is the kind of small one, and then there's a bigger one. So we're going to watch, in the Discovery files, there's actually two different body cam angles. So two different officers watched it at the same time. So we're going to watch them both. And first of all, this is the one on the small monitor.
Go back in there. Go back in there. Well, I'll tell you when you're done.
So this would have been the depiction of Shanann killing Celeste in the way that Chris described it.
Keep going. Hold on and keep switching.
And it switches between rooms. So you can see Shanann doing something, but does that look like she's being strangled? Could actually just as easy look like she's, I don't know, petting her or comforting her. You can't it's not clear at all, is it?
Okay, now the other one.
So now he's going to go into Bella's room. And they're going to see whether you can tell that Bella's blue. So this is Bella's room. Well, you can't tell at all that Bella's blue. You can't tell at all. You would just think Bella was sleeping.
Okay.
So now this is the other bigger monitor. So maybe this is clearer. So let's take a look at this one.
Go back in there. Go back in there. Well, I'll tell you when you're done.
See, it just looks like she's...
Keep going. Hold on and keep switching.
See, even if you have it on that side, it doesn't necessarily look like she's strangling her.
Okay,
not really.
Another one.
So Bella now just looks like she's sleeping. So you can see it from that angle. But he said that Bella was already blue. So he wouldn't have seen that.
Okay.
The story's absolute nonsense. But now I'm going to move on to another subject that has created some speculation. I watched Armchair Detective last couple of evenings, my time, about Nate's security footage and another shadow and the fact that perhaps Nate's security camera has been doctored because it loops and things. And I think that's an understandable misunderstanding, because take a look at this file. Now, this is from the discovery files I got from Weld County. And this is Nate's security footage. Now, it comes in 3-minute, 15-second segments. So the full footage that people put out on the internet, it's been spliced together. So overall, all of these files, if you just put them kind of together one after another in like a chronological sequence, it doesn't work because it's way longer. Like Chris backed his truck into the driveway at 5:18 a.m. because that's on the GPS of his truck, so that's as accurate as it can be. And he left his drive at 5:46. So those 20 odd minutes that he was stationary was recorded on his GPS. So you shouldn't have over an hour of footage. Well, I've worked out why it looks strange. It's because these files are all repeated. They've downloaded them twice, and you can tell by the file names. Now, I haven't doctored these. As you can see, the date last modified was the 21st of August 2018, so I've not done anything to these files whatsoever. So you've got this one, and then this one repeated, and then this one, and then this one repeated, and you can tell by the time that they were downloaded twice, but just a minute apart from each other. So what you do when you're splicing them together is just take one of them. So just take that, 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 that. And I can get, just doing that, I can put them together and show you the full timeline. And I'll put those in a separate video because this video is already long. So I'll put the full footage out just as it is, but with the correct kind of sequence. So I think that covers that one up. But yeah, it is confusing, and I couldn't work it out at first, but that's what it is, guys. It's that the files were downloaded twice. Next, let's move on. This is a new shadow that Armchair Detective has found, and this has confused the hell out of me because it really does look like somebody standing in the garage. I can't work out any other reason. I've looked at the lighting because there's a light kind of somewhere here. It's off this screen. I'll explain this screen in a minute. There's a light here. There'll be a light in the garage, and then there's lights from Chris's truck that is going to start backing in. Now, I don't think the lights from Chris's truck are going to influence this because it's kind of not directly kind of facing. So you need kind of like a light engineer or something to look at it. So what I've done is the right-hand footage is the one that Armchair Detective found the shadow in. So this is the officers just recording on their body cam or phone or whatever directly from Nate's TV. The drive looks whiter, so the shadow stands out against the white drive. So that's from Nate's TV, and then this one is from the security footage that was downloaded. And what I've tried to do, I've got it almost within maybe a millisecond. I've put the two together so you can see the shadow here and then the shadow here. Now this one, the driveway's kind of grey, and you can see that there's a shaded kind of aspect there that you don't see on this footage. Now, I've tried to match them up based on the headlights, and I'm almost right. So let's go through it. It's only like a few seconds, and let's see the shadow appear in here, and let's see what happens there. Look at that. What is that? Now, you can't see it really on this one because there's already shading. But if you look really, really closely, I think you can see it. What is that? What is that? Is it a trick of the light? Oh, I don't know, guys. I honestly don't know. What is it? Is it someone standing in the garage, or is it just a trick of the light? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. The fact that it moves, like it seems to move back in. It's like, oh, wow. What is that? Anyway, the last thing we're going to look at is those shadows again under the truck. Now, I think there seems to be, and I've heard in the last couple of days, actually, I've heard more than one channel saying that there's only one child that Chris picks up. No, there's not. There's two children. There's two. Now, I've done a video on this already, but I'm going to do it again. I'll show you. Directly from the Weld County files, you're going to see it frame by frame. This kind of zoomed in stuff is not admissible in court. Let's make it clear on that. But as a discussion point, as proof on the internet, those girls were alive. This has to be it. It picks up two things. So if we want to call them children, I think they're children. Now, the first one that you'll see frame by frame, the shadow, I think, under the truck is Chris. I think probably the thing is picking up is maybe, kind of here. So hidden by the wheel. So watch this. There's Chris. and he's picking something up, and you can see that's Chris's shadow moving, but he's picking something up and putting it in the truck. So let's just watch that again. Right, so that shadow moves with Chris. Chris's head's there. And he's moving. He bends down, picks something up and puts it in the truck. Is that Bella or Cece? Lights to the truck are on, so the door's open. So we could speculate that he's putting a kid in the truck there, settling them in. And then a shadow appears from here. There. Look. And the shadow of Chris is there. And the shadows merge when Chris bends down. It's so clear, frame by frame. Come on, guys. There's something moving. It's not his lunchbox or his tool bag or his computer bag. That is a moving object coming from this direction, moving towards Chris. Come on, guys. Those girls were alive, and Chris loaded both of them. Now, you can tell me that you don't see these shadows. You can tell me that something more elaborate and more weird occurred. Get the files yourself from Weld County. All you have to do is email them and find this scene. Slow it down so it's frame by frame. Shanann did not kill those girls. And they were loaded in by Chris from the front with Chris's own hands. That's all I'm saying. Next few minutes are, perhaps many of you have seen these interviews already, but I've put this in at the end of the video because it shows just how easy Chris lies and how convincing he seems. In this interview, he really doesn't seem very nervous. So I'll bid you farewell here. Leave your comments below. It's infuriating, this interview that I'm going to show you, because Chris is so confident with his lie. But I'll leave you here to watch that. I've been Michelle. I do hope you're well, and I'll see you in the next video.
I want them wherever they're at. Like, I have no inclination to where they're at right now. Like, I've exhausted like every friend that I know of, and every friend that I have has called friends that Shanann has that maybe I didn't know about. And it's just like, it's vanished. Like, she's not, like, when I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. Like, she wasn't here. Kids weren't here. I have no idea, like, where they went. And it's just earth shattering. I don't feel like this is even real right now. It's like a nightmare that I just can't wake up from.
Chris, when did you learn that they weren't here?
Like, I had texted her a few times and called her. I didn't get a response, which that was a little off. And then her friend Nichol showed up about a little afternoon. I could see it on the doorbell camera. And I was like, hey, what's going on? She's like, I can't get a hold of Shanann. And that's when I was just like, all right, something's not right. If she's not answering the door, and she said the car was here, it's like, I gotta go home. And we got here, got inside, and nobody was here. Nothing.
And so I read that Shanann hadn't taken the girls to school, which was unusual.
Yeah, because like Bella was gonna start kindergarten next Monday, and they were just getting ready to start back again.
And so your friend Nichol kind of tipped you off that something is...
Yeah, because like she was here at the front door, and that's when I kind of knew, okay, like if she's not answering anybody else either, this isn't like her, because I mean she works at direct sales business, and that's what she does. And for her not to respond to any of her people, I mean, if she doesn't respond to me, that's fine. I mean, like, she's busy, she's got stuff going on, but not to respond to her people, though, that was not like her. And we went through everybody. I mean, just everything in my contact list and her friend's contact list, and nothing has come up. Everybody has said like they haven't heard from her either. I'm just hoping right now that she's somewhere safe, and maybe she's there. But right now it's just like if she's vanished, like, I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad.
You know, I wanted to ask you a little bit about the hard part. Your first thought is, where are they? I want them back. Your second thought is, you know, your friends were telling us, and we kind of heard me a little on the phone. You're also, your second thought is that you're afraid people think you may have done something.
Yeah, I mean, nothing. Everybody's gonna have their own opinion on anything like this. I just want people to know that I want my family back. Like, I want them safe, and I want them here. Like, this house is not the same. I mean, last night was traumatic. Last night was, I can't really stay in this house again, like, with nobody here. And last night I wanted that knock on the door. I wanted to see this kid just run in, just barrel rush me and just give me a hug and knock me on the ground. But that didn't happen.
Who are you gonna stay with tonight?
Probably my friends Nick and Amanda. Just, I mean, unless something develops in the next hours or so, like, I'm hoping that somebody sees something or somebody knows something and comes forward.
What's the hardest part of all of this for you?
Not knowing, like, if they're safe or if they're in trouble. Like, there's just that variable, like, I'm not sure. I mean, I can't do anything right now from where I'm at. Like, I'm not sure if they're safe somewhere, just huddled up somewhere, or if they're in trouble. And knowing that if they could be in trouble, it just, it's earth-shattering right now, and it doesn't feel like it's real.
The weird part of all this, it sounds like everything's kind of locked up. There's no signs of them leaving the house.
No, no, like, we have camera there. Neighbor has a camera. I mean, everything's checked out.
Do you have a camera, you said?
The doorbell, only right there. The neighbor has one over there.
Were all the doors around the house locked?
Front door was locked. The garage door was unlocked, but that's normal for, like, when she comes in the house, she leaves it unlocked just so she can come in and out, just in case, you know, to get in the garage door. But the back sliding door was locked as well.
So how would she have left the house if she did leave the house, or how anybody?
I don't want to put anything out there, like, just suspecting, like, if something, like, somebody pulled in the back, and because we have a driveway back there from the new townhomes, but it's so hard to tell. Like, there's no cameras in the backyard or anything like that, so it's really hard to even suspect anything right now as far as how she could have left, or if someone came picked her up, or if somebody took her.
Meanwhile, today's reality, you've got cops there, cops here, cops in your house, K-9 units.
I've never seen something like this in my lifetime unless it was on TV or a movie, and this doesn't seem real at all. It just seems like I'm living in a nightmare, and I can't get out of it. I just want them home so bad.
Did you see your kids and your wife whenever, or you had the kids, I forgot.
Yeah, I had the kids over the weekend.
Did you see your wife when she got home?
She got home really late, about 2 a.m. from the airport when she got back from Arizona.
Did you wake up and say, you know?
No, I saw her when she got in, but it was really quick just because it was 2 a.m. in the morning. But I saw the kids in the monitor before I left, and that was it.
What kind of efforts are happening right now, Chris, to find them?
Right now in Frederick Police Department, they've been on point. With the officers, detectives, sergeants, K-9 units here, they're getting sense. So hopefully they can pick up something and kind of go in a direction that will actually lead us to where maybe they're at right now.
And?
Shanann went to, where'd you get that shirt?
Oh, this is I think she got it off Amazon, but this is my favorite college sports team.
Wasn't she just there?
She was, yeah, just in North Carolina. Yep. So she actually probably got it from there. Usually she gets stuff from Amazon, but this one, I like these shirts a lot.
You guys, you love your kids. Describe your little girls to us, and you know.
So Celeste, she's just a ball of energy, you know, just yelling at you and all kinds of things. And Bella, she's the more calm, cautious, mothering type. And she's more like me. She's more calm. But Celeste has definitely got her mom's. I need everybody back here. I need everybody safe.